Hey everyone, thank you for joining me. I haven't been on in a while on YouTube, kind of disconnected in a more uh, like full way than I ever have really. So just to kind of give you a good idea of like how much this time is really about dropping all the metaphorical masks, not, well, face masks as well. Would be awesome to drop those. But the metaphorical masks, because what's happening is all of us, one way or another, are being challenged at this time. And it's not just like financially, but it's something very specific for each person. And the fact that I basically stopped most of my work and I've decided to go into a place of nothingness, but not because I wanted to, not because anyone told me to. It was just, I follow the flow of the energy, and right now I feel like what's necessary is to be in more stillness without the external influences, because most of my life I've been, trying to educate myself and take more courses, always for the purpose of trying to help clients, not usually for myself, although indirectly things I took were helping me. But even though part of my purpose here is to make a shift in the planet and for humans and animals and help people heal and all that, I was basically relying on that to drive my identity and my purpose. Like, it was kind of like, without that I would be nothing, right? And so what this time has done is it's kind of pushed a lot of people, including myself, into a space where they no longer can have what they thought was real or was who they were. They're no longer, like, it's almost like you have no choice but to leave that situation. Whether it seemed good or not isn't really the point. It's more about what is supposed to happen in your particular life right now. And like, I've never not seen clients for this long. I've never, I have considered walking away from my naturopathic license, but this is the first time I've been kind of given an obvious reason to. And long story short, it's because I spoke too much truth and they didn't like that. So, or whatever, a perspective that could be the truth. And I was, censored, like pretty much all the truths out there are right now. They're censored and they're not allowed to be spoken and blah, 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 right? Anyways, so that is, it required this time to push me in the direction of that. It also, this time also was fast forwarding what I thought would be 2 years in a new place to live, bringing it right down to 1 year and ending this time in my life very fast. And again, it's not because I was told to, and it's not because I wanted to. It's because the energy is pushing me in that direction, and that is what I listen to. I do not listen to what might be the most logical thing to do, or the safest thing to do, or the easiest thing to do, because probably what I'm doing isn't very easy, to move again. Um, and I'm not pleased about it, but I am looking at the energy of it, and basically it's the only way that goes with what needs to happen. And this is when you live intuitively, this is how it goes. And living intuitively doesn't always seem logical to other people, but um, you know what? You're always supported. There's even if you think you're going to go broke, and there's always going to be some support out there. You're not going to like find no resource to, to make you stand on your feet. Like it'll always show up one way or another. Maybe not always an obvious way, but it could be just a single person, lending a helping hand if you think, you thought you made a bad decision, but there is no bad decisions. So if you go with the flow of where you're directed energetically, it's a pull, it's a push, or whatever it is. It's words in your mind that don't feel like your own words, but it is coming from source or your guides or whatever you believe it is. It's good to listen to that because it's usually right. I'd say always right. I'd say usually, but probably it's always right. Okay? And you notice when you don't listen to the flow or the words that are coming in, and you try to push against it, it'll be very difficult, the path that you choose, if you choose to go against it. And one way or another, you will be redirected in the direction that you're supposed to go anyways. And I'm talking generally right now. But if you've experienced this, you'll understand what I mean. Like if you're trying to, get a certain job or trying to make a certain amount of money or whatever, and it's just like you're forcing something or you're forcing a relationship or whatever, it'll usually backfire one way or another because you're not allowing it to come to you naturally the way it could. So that is what I'm kind of going through right now. It's like, well, these are not really things I want to do. I don't really feel like moving again. I don't feel like, changing my path completely. Yeah, there's a lot of things I don't really want to do right now. But this is what I'm being kind of guided to do internally. And me not, I've said this in other videos, but me not seeing clients right now, it's because I kind of reached a wall where I realized I can no longer continue helping people from a place of lack where I don't feel well or balanced, and then I'm expected to help other people balance themselves out or balance them out or all that. It's just, I think it needed to get to this point, so I come to a reevaluation of what I need to do now. And it might just be that I'm healing in a place of nothingness. I don't really know, to be honest. I do know that there is a purpose for this empty, floaty feeling right now. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one going through it. It's because there's a lot of energy being swirled around, being thrown all over the place. Things are changing, and it's like we're in the eye of the storm waiting. And I feel like when it's a waiting energy, doing and moving a lot will not feel right. It'll feel forced. As much as I want to travel, it's almost like another distraction, right? So, and I also just don't want to deal with the chaos and all that crap that you'd probably have to go through when you go to an airport right now. So, like, when you surrender to this flow that you are given, it makes things a lot easier. Having compassion for yourself. If you react a certain way to what's going on, if you if you get upset or depressed or angry or whatever, having compassion for yourself is really important, because it's a normal human reaction to kind of feel like, why am I not doing anything, and why being hard on yourself and all that. But then forgive yourself for having that reaction and love yourself anyways, and then accept where you're at, because accepting it will make it a lot easier to move forward from it. It's again going with the flow. Acceptance is more flowing, and resisting and punishing oneself is more like forcing something. You're pushing against it and it just kind of backfires. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say, to just give an update. I am definitely feeling unplugged right now from most of everything that I know and do. Like I'm trying to stay in touch with some stuff by watching videos from different sources about different, energetic things, healing and all that. But even when I'm in those, watching them, some part of me is still disconnected, and it's scary, to be honest. It's a little scary, because I'm like, is it gone? Like, what happened, right? And I just try to acknowledge that fear and, not get too attached to that fear. And I think, again, if we just kind of realize that it's just part of this whole process, and it's part of the whole time of kind of internal silence or stillness or nothingness or floatiness, then it's okay, because it's just temporary and things will change. So allow yourself, if you're in this space, if it's depression, if it's anger, if it's kind of just feeling empty or non-motivated or whatever, it's part of the whole process right now. And I go through it, and then I hear it from other sources that say the exact same thing, and I'm like, okay, so it's not just me. So I'm saying it's not just you. And let it be, and trust. It's a huge cleansing. I've said this in other videos. You probably heard it. It's a huge cleansing right now that's going on, and it needs to happen. And everything is happening on purpose, in the order that it needs to happen. And any fighting against it will not help. But forgive yourself. Allow yourself to get angry. If you feel like something is happening that you really don't agree with and you're scared, allow yourself to be scared. Allow yourself to be angry. Allow yourself to have all those great emotions that we experience. But then don't get attached to it, because when you get attached to these, experiences, that they are all part of the illusion. It's a lot of it is just passing energy, okay? And if you just see it as energy moving and passing through, and oh, there comes that law, and here comes that thing, and then oh, they're gonna do this now, and they're gonna do that now, and oh, the vaccine and the masks and all that shit. It's okay. I want to say it's an illusion. It's real, but it's an illusion, because what's real is like pure love, and then everything else is just our perception of what's going on, and how you perceive it actually creates it even more, the way you perceive it, right? If you just see it as energy, kind of like the illusion of evil and the illusion of destruction and the illusion, it might be there, but now you are realizing that there's a lot more than just that. It's not just that. It's not so like concrete, because you start to see it as moving energy, just like all our human emotions and everything is just moving through us, but it doesn't actually define us. And so the stuff that's going on the planet is not defining the actual like state of this planet. It's showing us a moment in time that is energy moving so that things can move in the direction of an awakening, basically, that's happening right now. Okay, so I think that's the best way to look at it, or one of the better ways to look at it, versus I got to fight this and like it's terrible and oh my god, we're gonna have to get the vaccines and blah blah blah. You just watch like a TV show, or if you watch TV, I don't recommend it, but you know, like you're watching a movie and you just watch the scenes go by and do not attach to it because it is an illusion and your mind is creating it in a more concrete way. So you just have to really step back, and it doesn't mean you're ignoring it and you're not denying it. You know that it's there, but you know that it's going to pass and everything will balance out in the end. Okay? All right. As much as I'm talking to you guys, I am talking to myself because I'm been very angry lately and I'm just like, okay, let's calm down because it's not helping anything. Okay? All right. So I'll try and come back for more videos. If I can, I will. I'm not sure because it's just spontaneous lately. I don't really think about it. If I feel it, I'll do one. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, hang in there. Take care.